All right. Stuart, thanks for joining us.
Good to
We
see
have
you,
Stuart
Jeremy.
Clamp, First Horizon Mortgage. We're going to be playing Jenga with Jeremy. Catchy name, huh?
Yeah,
You like that?
I like it.
All right.
Jenga with Jeremy.
All right, so I will start. I'm going to push a block out, ask you a question, and then you go, and we'll see who can win this thing. That one's not good. That one's not good. I'm having a tough time from the very beginning here.
You're not supposed to touch it.
Yeah, no, that's what I heard that rule. So we're going to change that rule next time. All right, Stuart, what is your favorite holiday and why?
I would say Boxing Day.
Oh, explain to me Boxing Day. I was talking to somebody the other day, and what is
So
Boxing Day?
in England, it's the day of soccer.
Well, before we get there, explain to us why you
minute.
even have England as. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from England. I moved to the United States when I was 7 or 8, and I grew up in Florida. And so all my roots are English, and my whole life has been around soccer, and football is what we called it. So the 26th of December is Boxing Day, and it's like literally over a 3-day span, they have something like 25 games. And so in England, it's just the day of soccer. And Boxing Day really came about is in the old days, it's when the wealthy would box up gifts and give them to the poor. That's where it came from. And I had to do that research for my kids this year when I was like, Boxing Day!
Did you box up all their gifts and give it to other people?
No.
Did you watch any soccer?
Yeah, we watched some Premier League for sure.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I have a buddy, Ben, that's from the UK, and he was saying he showed me a picture of all the food they had laid out, and they were, having drinks and eating all this food and doing Boxing Day. And so I was like, I don't even know what Boxing Day is, but thanks for the explanation.
When I was around my family, it was a lot more thing. My family up here, my kids and stuff, they're not into soccer. My son watches it with me, but that's about it. But
Gotcha.
We were down in Florida prior to Christmas, so I got to do some of it with my brothers.
And no kids playing soccer anymore, right?
Not in my household. All my
Everybody's
nephews
retired.
and nieces are in Florida, so we did a lot of that when we were down there.
That's right. You told me one of them's a stud, right?
Yeah.
All right, your turn. You've been eyeballing that. You knew right where to go.
You always go in the middle, Jeremy. Who has been your biggest influence or mentor?
All right. I think I got this question one at a time, but biggest influence throughout my life and business-wise is my dad, my father, and growing up, just seeing him and how he was with his family and how he treated other people, and then coming to work with him and seeing how he treated his employees and people was really intriguing to me, fun to watch. So
Well, you guys are keeping on the family legacy for sure here.
that's right. Who's your biggest mentor?
Honestly, I would say back in college, my college soccer coach.
Okay.
He got me through some rough times being 13 hours away from my family and a twin brother at that. Never been away from him before. And he did a lot for me those 4 years. Helped me grow up.
That's cool. Is he still around?
He is. I don't keep in touch with him anymore. Boy, he was the right guy in my life at the right time.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. All right. Go in your middle. Oh my gosh. This one just wants to come out.
Oh my God, cheating again.
Whatever. All right. How do you stay updated with industry trends?
In the mortgage world, it's ever changing. So for me, it's a lot of personal growth associated with industry stuff I read and follow, and also talking to people in the industry like insurance agents, realtors, other mortgage professionals. In my world, it's like I said, it's ever changing. And you kind of have to be along for that change, otherwise you're going to be left behind. I was not along for the technology change we went through the last 10 years, and I got caught behind it. I'm with it now, but I was the last one to adopt it, so it's kind of tough. But with the changing markets real estate's been in for the last 5 years, it's been rough.
When you came from what they used to call it, the subprime mortgage. What was the mortgage? What do they used to call it?
Subprime mortgage lending.
Where you had like you could do everything.
I could
but
do
it was
everything and not at
it
good
was
rates.
It was a lot of red tape. A lot of things you had to jump through.
A lot of red tape, but also a lot of people getting loans they shouldn't have gotten. So
yeah. Is there even a subprime?
It's starting to come back. It's not. I'm in more of a bank lender now, but it is starting to come back. They're starting to do some bank statement loans and different things, but it's not the best pricing in the world, but it fits some need of the people that need it. So
yeah, it's definitely some people that need it. So all right, see if you can knock this thing down, Stuart.
No way, I'm going for the one you half knocked out.
Yeah.
So how is the technology impacting your industry? Isn't that the same one you just did? Kind of?
Industry trends? Well, I don't know. I mean, technology.
In the mortgage world,
yeah.
It's become a lot more digitally focused for the consumer. The banks and the mortgage lenders want them to fill out applications online to make it more seamless for them to provide documents and track the process.
Are your clients okay with that these days, you think?
You know, I find the younger generation, the millennials and the X's or whatever you call them now, they do a lot of research online, but when it's actually time to get a mortgage,
they don't want to mess with any of it, do they?
They'll start all that process and then they want to meet someone in person. Yeah. And that's kind of more my thing is in-person lending. So I do a little bit of both. I use the technology where I have to. And it does actually help the process of the mortgage lending, kind of get things done quicker. And supposedly it helps the customer experience. I'm questioning that, but in general, technology has kind of helped speed up that mortgage process and kind of made it a little bit more competitive when it comes to pricing and speed to get stuff closed.
Yeah.
So it's been a good thing for the most part. I'm just not a huge guy that wants people to put everything in a portal and just call me when it's ready to close. That's just not the mortgage industry. It still requires a personal touch to get. Yes, you're getting a product, but you know what? As a loan officer, I've got to show the reasons why you need to get the money. It's not just free money. So we've got to put it together a good presentation to make sure you get it in a timely manner. So
I think a lot of times the people who are wanting to do everything online, they get to a point where they realize that, okay, Stuart does add a lot of value to this process. And then you can whip them into shape and get them going. So.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is with online lenders that are pure online, you're dealing with someone in a cubicle that is really not a true loan officer who's been in the industry for many years and seen everything the way it can happen. They're order takers like in a call center. They don't.
Well, and else it's just transaction for them. Yeah. Like this is somebody that's going to be a client of yours probably forever. Yeah. And you're going to do a bunch of loans for them. So
yeah, usually how it works is, if you're doing a good job for people, they remember you when it's the next time them or one of their friends and families need mortgage advice or need a transaction or need banking advice. They'll call. Yeah. Whether just because I'm the mortgage guy doesn't mean I can't connect you with the right people that can assist you in other aspects of your financial life. So
yeah, awesome. All right. So wait, did I did the last one?
I did the last one.
You did?
Yeah, I took the one out you half knocked out. I wouldn't do that one.
I was trying to cheat here and skip my turn. All right, here we go.
You did well in geometry or whatever it is back in the day, did you?
What? I did well enough. What sets your services apart from competitors? We haven't had any personal questions yet. They're in there.
I'll go back to what I just said, really more of a hands-on approach. I typically will give clients more than the one option they called about because I want them to feel empowered in the decision they're making instead of just order taking. So I'll show them several different ways they can do it and really ask the questions to see why they're looking at the way they're looking at versus the way it might be better for them.
Yeah. Oh, I'll throw in something for you because you've done mortgages for me before. You are as knowledgeable as anybody in the business that I know, but also the thing that you have is a special thing where you can feel that you really care about your clients, but you get them to do stuff and you get them to do it in a timely manner. I've never had a referral source that's able to tell their clients, like, call this guy, and they actually call. Like, you tell somebody, when you walk out this door, you need to call him, and they do. They call, and there's something to be said for that. It's a mix between having love for your clients, but also getting stuff done. And so that's where you're special, I think.
Yeah, I
and,
think
and that's
that-
something that's unique to you that I haven't seen anybody
When
else
I
do.
came to the banking world from the broker world, that's the one thing I had to kind of redesign how I did the mortgage business. Was kind of built myself more of a trusted advisor, and I've kind of stuck to that. I wouldn't want to put people in products that I wouldn't tell my parents to do, my brothers, my siblings. I kind of look at the things the right way. At least that's the way I'm trying to guide people anyway. So I think it's done well for me in my years as a mortgage banker. So
I think so too.
I think it's key.
All right, knock this thing down.
All right.
Oh,
There's no way I'm knocking it down, dude.
You said you're not very good. You've been moving pretty good.
How does Nashville's culture influence your work? You know, I've been in Nashville since 2001, and I've seen it go through this major shift about every 5 years. Specifically, the last 5 years has been nuts. And in what I do for a living, the culture has been more shift to more of a high-cost housing environment, where it's become a lot harder for people to afford to buy in the areas they want to buy. And so for me, the culture that we've gone through is more of a boom culture, but it's a high-income area, so it's just a matter of getting people comfortable with the math. I think the size of the loans today versus what they were even 10 years ago for the same size house is probably 40% more at least. I mean, it's crazy. So I do a lot in the healthcare space as a mortgage originator. And so I do a lot with physicians, executive hospitals, those kind of things. And Nashville's the hub for healthcare in the country. So it's been good for me. The culture itself, I think it's more of a youthful generation here. So it's a great place to live. And also a good place to do business.
And it's kind of sped up a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. I think probably 20-something years ago it was just a little bit slower paced, and
Yeah.
everything moves quicker now, which is fine. It's just, but it's different. It feels a little more like a bigger city setting.
Traffic
but
sucks.
The traffic is tough, yeah. All right, let's see what I can knock out. I'm going to find a good one here for you. All right, this is good. Fun fact about you most people wouldn't know. I took away one of your fun facts earlier. That would have been a
being
good
British?
one. Yeah, you can't use that now. You can juggle a soccer ball 1,000 times still.
I'm a twin. That'd be a fun fact most people don't
pretty
know
cool.
around here.
I've never seen a picture of your twin.
You're looking
guys-
at him. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty
identical,
much the
huh?
same, yeah. Even it's funny the fact that we've pretty much grown apart lived apart since 1992. To this day, we're still pretty much the same. He weighs a little bit more than me, but still the same facial features and everything. So that's pretty weird, but that's a fun fact for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Back in the day, I also used to coach travel soccer and stuff. You know, back when we had free time for that kind of stuff, and that was a fun project for me. I think I'll probably get back into it
Yeah, it's fun.
as my older son gets off.
You're not going to coach baseball?
No.
And Aiden's baseball, right?
Yeah, my son is in baseball, and I have no clue what that is.
Yeah, that's almost better that way, isn't it? You just show up and you say, "Good job." Let's get
Yeah, the
ice
fun
cream."
fact is my dad was a semi-professional soccer player in England. When I was growing up, I was only allowed to play soccer. That was it, you know. So didn't get to learn the American sports, and so my son is big into baseball, and I still don't understand it. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't understand sitting at the ball field for 3 or 4 hours at a time to watch him hit the ball twice and field the ball 3 times. I don't know. We'll see.
It's an American pastime.
American pastime.
That's
yeah.
right. All right, knock one out here.
Uh-oh.
It's getting wobbly. You've done really well at Jenga, by the way. I think you're better.
How do you relax after a busy day? You know, I have really in the last 5 years got into playing golf regularly, at least 9 holes during the end of the week, and I think that's my relaxation tool.
You played Temple Hills, or where you go?
I just do little 9-hole pitch and putts because I can get done with it in like an hour. But that's a good relaxation for me. You know, having older kids now, a 22-year-old, 19-year-old, and a 10-year-old, all those years when I was younger, after work, it was driving them around everywhere. And so now kind of being home and cooking dinner for everybody and those kind of things is kind of the way I relax now, is just after work is getting home enough time to get to spend some quality time with my son and cook dinner.
Sneak away to the beach every now and then, right?
Yeah, definitely go down to the condo in Florida on a
That's
regular to see
relaxing.
my family. So you're going to knock it down this time, I think.
Oh, no. Look at that. That's great pressure on right there.
Now I'm getting worried. You got kind of teeter in here.
How does living in Nashville benefit your professional life?
Kind of what I just talked to. Because it is such a growth market, it's been good for the mortgage industry and mortgage lenders. Maybe not the last 6 months, but
Prior to that, it was great.
in general,
Yeah, for lots of years, right?
you know, you make good contacts with people in the growth market, and they have good connections also. So in general, it's just helped my business flourish. I mean, from when I first started in the banking to doing 12 million a year to 95 million a couple of years ago, and that's associated with, granted, the loan amounts are going up, purchase prices are going up, but it's also that network's just gotten a lot bigger with good quality people in it. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it works the same in your business.
Yeah.
The longer you have clients, the
Yeah.
bigger the book will build, because they'll refer their clients because you're giving them good service. So.
Yep, for sure. All right.
All right, I think this is shaking before we even do anything.
I'm over here hitting it.
What's a key trend you're observing in your market?
A key trend I'm observing in our market. Oh my gosh. I mean, our market's a mess right now. Key trend, I guess, is a lot of rate unsettling. So, I mean, a lot of people shopping for insurance. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of options right now. The companies have all had rate increases, and they're all not offering great rates on new business. So it's a challenging environment.
It seems
for us
like to
right
me,
now.
as a mortgage lender, just in the last 2 years, premiums are up 10 or 20%, even in our market.
Yeah.
I don't even talk about Florida, where I do a lot of lending. I mean, it's crazy down there. But even here, what I used to estimate the cost of an insurance policy for a $500,000 house.
Oh, yeah. It's more than 20%.
Yeah, it's
probably 50% or more
Yeah,
in the
it's
last
crazy.
several years. A lot of the policies that you would, a $500,000 house, 2 years ago you'd think $1,500
Yeah,
for a premium,
easy.
$2,500
Yeah,
now.
easy.
Or
I
more.
would say, yeah. And as a
Yeah.
lender, I guess 2,000, but I guess I was off.
It was,
but on the mortgage
but yeah,
standpoint,
trends.
the trends, it's been rough on a rate environment for the last probably 9 months. As the economy starts to settle, rates have come down the last couple of weeks significantly, over a point, associated with speculation that we're coming out of the recession on a soft landing. So that's good. It should kind of get our housing market back moving again. The good thing about Nashville, there's lots of people moving here on a regular basis, so we don't hit the downturns or the boom or bust scenario that other cities would. But we'll start seeing more kind of, it seems like a lot more buyers in the market, which unfortunately is going to drive up prices further because there's still no inventory hitting the market. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it'd be good that the rates come down.
On a lending standpoint, I'd be happy to get busy again.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, this is going to be trouble. What's the most frequently asked question by your clients? What do you get asked the most by your clients?
I guess
What's the rate today?
the general one is, can I get this rate better somewhere else?
Yeah.
Right? The answer is maybe. Depends on the product you're doing and the type, the need of the loan. If it's what we call a conforming loan in today's market, in our market here, it's anything. They just increased it to 766.5 or something. Anything below that, pretty much every bank is going to be within 1/8 of a point of each other, because Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac kind of sets the add-ons and the rates for those. It just depends on when that bank is trying to be more aggressive than the other banks. So those loans, I mean, you may be able to get a better rate. You may not. On the portfolio lending stuff, loans that are higher than that, those are specific to banks because the banks are using their own money. So the answer to that question is maybe, because one bank may have more appetite on certain risk on their money versus others. Like,
Are people understanding? Do different mortgage companies do like the points where you can buy down? Is that still a thing?
I would say as a lender, I've never been a fan with buy downs or discount points, because I don't see on a buy down what that is. You're getting a temporary low rate for the first couple of years, and then your rate jumps up. So you have a payment shock within a couple of years, which typically isn't good because people are qualifying off a buy down rate. Then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, their payment goes up $200 or $300. Now they're in a struggle if nothing's changed. So I'm not a fan of those as a lender. Discount points in today's rate environment, it's hard to justify the cost versus the break even on those. Typically, if you're paying discount points, you want the monthly savings to break even within the first 24 months, because the average loan is only on a lender's book 3 to 5 years. So you want to have time for you to recoup that cost plus see the benefit. A lot of mortgage companies charge discount points to try and be more competitive because their fees are higher. But to me, when you show the client the math of the cost versus the payment difference, they'll typically take no cost and just take a little bit higher payment. So more than anything, that's the major question, especially in the last 4 months that I've gotten, is can I get this rate better somewhere else? You know, I'm honest with people. I was like, here's 3 guys you can call, or let me check, see if any of my buddies got better rate. I don't care. I mean, I just want you to get the best deal for you. So in general, I think, like I said, everyone's about the same unless it's a niche product like the physician loan that I do. That's niche. Every bank's going to price it different. We're pretty aggressive on it at certain points of the year, or the points of the year we don't want it on our books. So
yeah. Well, hopefully it's still all improving for this year.
Yep.
It's still going to be a good year. So this is going to be tough. Oh, my goodness.
What's your favorite thing about living around Nashville? Honestly, I think the traffic's not great, but the ease of getting around town in general, to me, because I work in all different pockets, is pretty good compared to other big cities I've lived in or been in. I think you do find different cultures in different parts of Nashville that I like. I mean, I live in the Franklin area, and I love that kind of culture over there versus the downtown music stuff that's just too crazy touristy for me. So I think as a Nashvilleian, you can live in parts of the town and not be subject to some of the craziness of what.
Have you heard of Serrato's, the steakhouse in Franklin? I went there last week. I tried to get you a gift card there.
Where
They
is
do
it?
Gift cards online. It's off Columbia Avenue, Target at Columbia Avenue. It's
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually
Well,
really
you
good.
know, I've been there once.
Okay, it was good.
Yeah, we went there once.
So, anyways, I just thought about that. But David, what would be your favorite thing to do in Nashville? Like if your brother came in town and you were saying like, hey, what's something fun that you'd take him to do?
You know, it goes back to my soccer roots. I go to Nashville Soccer Club game because I think it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
The stadium's awesome, and it seems like the city in general is behind the team. And so it's just a fun experience. Spend the night out. You've been to a couple games with me. To me, that's fun.
The stadium's really cool.
If I have family in town, it's not soccer season, I'll probably go into downtown Franklin because they live in Florida. They don't have old town, the old town square or anything like that in the cities down there. So they really love that kind of experience. So
Nice. All right. Do I have an option here? Okay, wasn't sure if that's gonna happen.
I'm just hoping I'm not the guy that knocks it over at this point.
I'm looking like you might be that guy. Coffee or tea?
To be honest with
yeah.
you, if I have to do it, it's going to be tea. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not really a tea drinker. So, but growing up, and that was my, afternoon tea with the dad with some biscuits dipped in it, cookies, as you guys know. So for sure.
Gotcha.
But it has to be like PG tips. It can't be like Twinings or whatever the American version is. So, I'm getting nervous here. That was my spot. Yikes! What's a book that significantly impacted you? You know, I'm not a big reader, man. Just to be honest with you. I think in general, I do.
Audiobooks?
I do.
Listen to podcasts?
I do a lot of podcasting. I like just the marketplace stuff because it kind of keeps me in the keeps me kind of what's going on in the market in general as a individual, not necessarily mortgage industry, and some financial podcasts. I think the Bible helps me. I do a lot of Bible study in a golf ministry I do, so that's been good for me probably for the last 10 years to kind of refocus part of my life. So
Golf and the Bible.
yeah.
You need the Bible sometimes you're playing
Yeah,
golf.
it was a good way to kind of get some grown men together and kind of get them to have a little fun and focus on things. So In His Grip Golf Ministry, shout out for anyone that's interested in doing that, little 9 holes and a little Bible study. So
That's awesome.
how about you?
Oh, man,
Spot.
yeah, put me on the spot. For me, like I had a book that I read. I don't even know when it was. A couple months before Christmas, maybe a month before Christmas, and it just hit me like, oh my God, this book was written for me. And it's called Magic of Surrender by Coot Blackson. And I've gotten really big into like the whole, like if you go to Barnes and Noble, the whole like spiritual self-help development, like that's all the books that just hit me right these days. And so that's what the book is. It's just about, trusting your life and don't put so much pressure on yourself and just surrender to think that the universe has the right things in mind.
Well,
for
I mean,
you.
it's tough as a business leader, right? When you're running a company, you kind of want to control it all instead of passing on some of that responsibility to your employees to kind of run with it. Same kind of thing in my world.
Yeah. No, you're exactly
self-improvement.
right.
Part of that self-improvement is learning to let go of certain things. So that's hard.
Are you trying to tell me something?
No, I'm speaking to myself too.
Yeah.
I have assistants too, and it's hard just to pass on some of that stuff when I
You do find there's things that they do that they're better at. Than you. You're like,
and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of doing it that way for the
Or
last 20 years?
They do it for a while, and then you're like, wow, okay, they got that figured out now.
Yeah.
Or, they're better at it now than I ever was or whatever. So, for sure. Is it my turn? Oh, my gosh.
Just get us out of our misery. Knock it over. And,
Let's go. What's your favorite Nashville food spot?
Honestly, my family hates it, but I love Sal's Pizza in downtown Franklin.
They all hate it?
No, they like it. They just hate it when I say birthday dinner, Sal's Pizza. It's just a little family-owned joint. It's called Salvo's Pizza, I think, in what it's really called. But it's just you walk in there. It's the same couple brothers cooking in the back, and it's a good atmosphere. You see, all the families your kids went to school with. It's just feel more like that neighborhood feel.
There's several of them around?
I want to say there's one in
Sal's?
There's one in Smyrna.
Same group?
Yeah, with the same group. But that one is in it's like on Hillsborough Road and Del Rio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see what you got. We got any openings?
So I'm going to take from the top. No,
Yeah.
You can't do that, Jeremy. I know you don't know the rules. Ooh, I almost hit it with my... What's the best part about working in your field? I think it's really the families I help. I just feel like I'm helping people get to where they need to get to on a personal level and financially. So it's kind of really rewarding to me. I try to go to all closings because I feel like it's a finish line for me too, not just them. And so that's kind of where I feel some of that reward. And I think if you do stuff the right way, you'll gain that presence from it too. So
yeah, no, for sure. I can feel that from working with you in the past. It's really cool that you do that, and you can feel that you really care about people. And so, I definitely second you on that. Let's see. Is that possible?
oh my God, you're crazy. See, this is where having fingernails kind of helps you.
What do you foresee the future of your industry? Where's your industry going to go in the future?
Um,
oh my gosh.
You know, the experts say it's going to go a lot even more digital, more like that AI kind of doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You may or may not speak to a specific loan officer anymore. I personally don't see it going that way because I think that people still want that human touch.
Yeah.
But I think the products themselves, they because of the crisis in 07, 08, it did make mortgage lending a little bit more vanilla and a lot more secure as a lending platform. So I think that they'll loosen some guidelines going forward. Not to the extent of we were in 07, 08, but I think in general, I think getting financing may be easier the next 2 or 3 years than it has been the last 5.
Do you think, like, I know in our industry, we always worry about, you have these really big companies that do everything online, over the phone, all that. And that is an impact on our industry. And so we are always thinking like, okay, how can we stay relevant? What can we do? How can we change our approach? And we're even talking about doing some things right now. Is there anything like in the mortgage business that like a loan originator would say, hey, I'm going to go to this type of client, or I'm going to change the way I do things, or like, can you think of anything that would come into play?
I think
for
a lot of the
mortgage
industry
people?
right now is saying going social is the way you're going to grow your business going forward. I'm kind of iffy on that because for me, I think it's okay to kind of get your name out there way, but giving advice over socials is probably not the direction. I mean, there's too much oversight on us as lenders with licenses and different things where you can get in trouble. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the mortgage lenders, mortgage companies of the world, like Rocket Mortgage, those kind of big places, they've really struggled the last 2 or 3 years, losing money in every loan they close just to stay open. I think we've started seeing, and we will continue to see, more contraction in that side of the world because it's costing them too much to do a loan.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. I think banks will become more relevant again.
Good.
So we'll see.
Cool.
Is it really my turn, man?
Yep.
I kind of want to just make it happen.
Just push it over.
Since you went there, I'm
my
going to go there
gosh.
since you took all the pressure off my
Look,
side.
the hardest part was putting it back on, just so
I
that you
know.
know. It really waddled last time.
What's one skill you're currently working on? I mean,
Nunchucks. Nunchuck skills?
No, it goes back to what I was just saying, where our industry's trying to get more on the socials. My previous bank, we weren't allowed to touch them. We weren't allowed to do anything. The First Horizon does allow us to have limited access to socials. So me learning what that is and how to implement it is what I'm trying to do as a mortgage lender. On a personal level, I don't do that stuff much, so I just don't know it.
Yeah.
I've never really been able to connect with it that way. And my wife, on the other hand, is a completely different story, right? And my kids. But it's just never been a focus of mine and the way I've kind of grown my network and different things. So that's kind of what I think my growth has been in the last 6 months for sure.
All right.
He's not going to do it. Oh my gosh. Come on. I'm done.
All right. What's the last movie you watched and loved?
You know, it is January, and we just watched the Wonka movie
Oh, yeah. How was that?
last week, and every single person in my family besides my son and me, did not want to go, but they all walked out of there saying it was one of the best movies they've seen in a while.
Really?
And that being a partial musical is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big action guy, so I love action movies. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of those that I've seen this year. But recently, that's probably one of the best ones we've seen in a while.
Do you have any like Netflix or any movies that go-tos that you can throw my way? Anything I need to watch you can think of?
I like action, so the Reacher series
I've
on
never seen
Prime.
those, yeah.
Oh, that's good action.
Yeah.
So of course, it's just been released, so I've been watching.
We
that.
saw the Hunger Games movie, the prequel or whatever.
Yeah,
It's good.
We like that. I told my daughters that was my favorite one, and then I got yelled at for like 30 minutes on why it wasn't the favorite one. I was like, it set up the whole rest of it that I didn't understand, and they've watched them all like 20 times. So yeah.
Yeah, they know. All right, Stuart, let's see what you got.
I don't think I've got anything. Nope.
I think that one would have come out. I think you had that one.
I did not.
Oh boy.
Woo! I'm not left-handed. This is going to be good.
Oh, it was so close.
What sets your services apart from the competitors, Jeremy?
What sets my services apart? That's a
I'm
very
turning
good
it on
question.
you.
All right, let's go. I mean, depending on what competitors are talking about, the direct writers, the State Farms and Allstates of the world, the biggest thing we have that's different from them is just options, more carriers. And so I think that's a nice thing for clients. Like if you come to us and we write your policy and then we need to change you from one carrier to another, it doesn't feel like it's really a change to you. And so that's nice. And then from an independent agency to another independent agency, it really comes down to just how we operate and how we're available. And some of the things we've been doing recently to try to set ourselves apart is, Keith's doing a great job with the social media content we have, and that's something that he does some education on there. He does just some fun stuff. I mean, going around the parks and showing those things, just community type stuff. This year we're going to start doing a newsletter, and so we're really trying to concentrate on adding more education and a little more value to our clients. So that's what sets us apart.
Well, I can tell you, as a client of yours for many years, I can't even.
That's a long time.
It's been a long time. I've had many conversations with, hey, Jeremy, I don't like how the insurance went up. Can you check to see if there's any better options? A couple of times there have been better options, and we switched in. It's been seamless. But as a lender, when I refer your company to my clients, locally owned and operated is key when I set you guys up as as a referral source, and the service you guys provide is instantaneous. So that no client has ever complained about the time they got a quote back from you. It's within an hour typically. So and then when it's time to talk about specifics inside that policy, the way you guys explain it and why you would or would not need that kind of coverage compared to what someone else is trying to offer them is key in educating the client on the mortgage process or whatever. So a lot of insurance companies overinsure properties these days based off purchase price. Well, the land's not going anywhere. You don't need coverage on the land. You can save 10-15% on a premium by not having that much. As a lender, we can't force you to have coverage for the full loan amount if the land's worth a certain amount. So there's different things that you guys do and take the time to explain that to a client that others don't. So
I appreciate that, man. And just to give you a shout out, I mean, there was a point in early on when we first started working together. It's probably been 15 years we've worked together. Probably after the first couple of years we worked together that you referred me probably, I don't even know how much business. I mean, you helped me get this business built and to grow my book of business. And I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. And you probably don't, I think we've talked about the numbers like before, but it was a large percentage of my business that I was getting from you personally. And so, what you've done for me and for the business is huge. And probably can't even understand it, how many clients you've sent. I mean, it's been hundreds of clients.
Well, I appreciate it, but it goes back to what I said is, for me, I try to be a trusted advisor to people, and having people that you can trust that are going to give the same level of service that you give just kind of helps my brand. And so when I was doing that with you and still do today, it's just helping my brand in general.
Yeah.
A lot of times the client will call me, he's like, hey, I'm selling the house. I need to, whatever they need to do. I'm like, first call I do is, Jeremy, I need a new quote. He'd be like, oh, I don't have them anymore. And, so it's always automatic. Let me call Jeremy, because that for so long, that's the way it was. Yeah. And so, well, and you go back to the client and say, hey, well, who's your new insurance agent? Well, I really like Jeremy, and we have him quote this one too. So, so it just depends on what the markets are doing, right? But
well, I appreciate it, man. It's helped out a lot. And I don't appreciate you having it be my turn, because it's not going to be good.
mean, I don't think I've gotten it this high with the kids, to be honest.
Keith's got his camera out ready.
He's ready.
That's a sign for anything.
I mean, since I'm your guest, I think you should be.
It's only right.
It's only right for you to knock it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally take this down, but
for everything he's done for you.
For all you've done for me, I'm going to stick you with it. Come on.
Get out of here.
Come on. Oh, all right. Do you have a favorite spot around town? I know we've had many questions about. Oh my gosh! Don't touch the table.
We'll let you answer this one since I kind of answered
My
a similar
favorite spot
question.
around town. You know what's sticking out in my head, and this is probably because I'm hungry, but there's a chicken finger joint in Cool Springs called Maniacs. Have you ever heard of that
I've never
before?
been there.
It's outstanding.
It's on Carruthers? Is that where it
it's
is? I've seen
right.
it.
It is on Seaboard. It's
Oh,
right
Seaboard.
behind Costco, and I think they're locally owned. And they do like a batter on their chicken, and it's almost like you do
Sounds
on
like
like
you need
fish.
to invite me to lunch.
Yeah, come on. You got a flight to catch, or I would. Well, I'll take you there sometime. Next time we go, we'll go there. But that's one of my favorite spots around town right now that I can think of. But of course, there's other stuff I could probably go. But that's where I'm going to go.
I'm always going to go to food when someone
I
asks
know,
me a
me
question
too.
like,
He's really
Come
zoomed. He's really
on,
zoomed
dude.
in on you now.
there's no way to. Yeah. Oh
what?
no! But I've got to put it on top.
I think you got it. That thing is sideways.
How do you think client needs will change in the future? I'm not going to go on the sides. You crazy? I think in my industry, the client needs is more going to be accessing some of their wealth they built over the last 3 or 4 years. As much as our market has grown in the equity of their home, as rates come down, I think that's going to be where some of that growth is going to be.
So like with line of credits and things? Is that what
Line
you're
of
saying?
credits, refinancing to do other things,
Yeah.
home improvements, different things, So we'll see.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, do not pull that one. Come on. I was going to punch you in the gut.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be
That
poor
thing is
form.
leaning.
That'd be poor form if I did that one.
It's the same question you had asked before.
See,
what's your
where-
second favorite holiday and why? Ooh. We'll just keep going. Once you grab it, we'll just go for it. We already got Boxing Day in there. I like that answer, by the way.
Second favorite holiday.
Any more Thanksgiving or Christmas?
I would think Memorial Day or something like
Memorial
that.
Day,
Yeah,
all right.
nice.
That
good
time of year is awesome.
3-day weekend.
I love
a good
that time
time
of
of the
year.
year. All right. Well, it's going to go down on this one because there's no way to get it back square.
Yes!
I was trying to square it up, but it didn't work. You the man.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Can you
Thank you,
crash
man.
down a little bit?